with News 6.
Elk have been called the most elusive game. Many tell tales of hunting the animal for years without ever getting one.
If you do get an elk, you've generally earned the right to brag. But at a hunting preserve in Darby, Montana, those bragging rights are being sold to the highest bidder.
The preserve is drawing fire from throughout the country. Barbara Riles investigated the controversy and found it has direct ties to a former dairy farm in Maple, Wisconsin.
I think there'll be water in that draw right there. This shows a spring, and as dry as it is this year.
Most big game hunters will tell you how difficult it is to bag an elk. Few creatures are more wily or hard to hunt than the majestic creature. The largest herds of wild elk in America are found in the mountain ranges of Montana and Colorado. Elk hunters must train hard to withstand the rigors of tracking in high elevations.
Preparing for Montana, Colorado, etc. elevations, physically being able to do it, the camp-out experience, the horseback experience, and then after you've done all those things, you're dealing with an animal that is a superior animal in terms of intelligence, hearing, scent.
Tracking an elk requires strength, stamina, training, and a willingness to wait motionless for hours in the cold. But if you've got the money, there's a way to avoid the frustration and physical challenge. In Darby, Montana, a small town near Missoula, there's a large elk hunting preserve. It's called the Big Velvet Ranch. And if you've got enough money, they'll guarantee you'll take home a trophy elk.
The elk at the Big Velvet are bred for size right here at this farm in Maple, Wisconsin. A full-grown bull will weigh over 1,200 pounds, and many will sport sized antler racks with 6 points of size.
Once the animals are big enough, they're trucked to Montana, where they're kept in various enclosures on the 1,800-acre Big Velvet Ranch. Hunters come from around the world to shoot a trophy. Clients can choose the bull they want from a promotional videotape. The practice has angered many who call it non-sporting.
Which animal we get depends upon how far we want to go in what a checkbook, and then we go back home and brag about the big elk on the wall over the fireplace. So to me, it's a sad commentary.
Leonard and Barbie Wallace, who own the hunting preserve in Montana and the farm in Maple, are under fire from many who'd like to see the operation shut down. But Len Wallace says he's just a businessman trying to make a living. He calls the attacks on him groundless.
You can only be against a game farm on an emotional level. It's not possible to be against game farming on a rational, logical level whatsoever.
The Big Velvet Ranch has recently found itself in the sights of the traditional hunting establishment. A recent article in Field and Stream calls the Big Velvet experience an unfair chase. The writer says shooting a trophy bull elk is a sure thing inside the fences of the Big Velvet Ranch. Many neighbors of the elk feeder farm in Maple agree.
It's like shooting a cow. You raise the animal and train it.
But John Maneri, whose family sold the land for the elk farm in Maple, says no matter how the animals are raised, it's still a sporting experience.
It's like any wild animal. You can get them used to humans, but they're still wild. It takes thousands of years to be an animal.
But hunting enthusiast Dave Zentner says most Northlanders wouldn't see the Big Velvet experience as hunting. He worries that hunting preserves like this give the whole sport a bad name.
Unless we conduct ourselves in the best sense of the game, in the most ethical manner, those who would want to cause us not to be able to hunt and fish are going to be more and more successful in convincing the majority of Americans who don't hunt and fish that maybe these activities are of questionable value and should not be continued.
Meanwhile, Len Wallace has purchased another 5,000 acres of grazing land in Montana and has asked the DNR for permission to clear the land of all wild game, fence it in, and bring in more elk for his big game hunting excursions. Barbara Riles, News 6.
Len Wallace also wants to expand his farm in Maple and has approached several neighbors to see if they're willing to sell.
Several of those farmers spoke with indicated they would sell them their land if they could get a good enough deal. From our partners in the Up North Newspaper Network tonight, the new medical clinic being built next to the Virginia Regional Medical Center will have a third story. Bids for the clinic were well under budget, so hospital officials say building the third story will only cost $511,000 more. Bill Hanna has the details in tomorrow's Wasabi Daily News. It was Northlanders versus the weather today. Ice, rain, and then the snow made for dangerous driving.
George is in next with the weather, including his 6-day forecast. Looks like hockey country is getting a new arena,
Which will come in handy for the Hilltoppers. Marshall's taking on Hermantown tonight at the deck, and Hermantown's got a lot riding on this game. Townsend later with sports.
News 6 in Johnsonville are pleased to present Sharon Losey with her Johnsonville breakfast sausage contest winning recipe.
First of all, we layer the sausage that's been browned, the Johnsonville sausage. We'll layer that on the bottom here. Then we've got the sauteed onions that you can do in the microwave to save some time. Grated cheese is the next layer here. Sprinkle that on top. Okay. And then our wild rice is the next layer. And then on top of that, we put the fresh mushrooms. We just whisk 3 eggs with half and half. And put this in a 350 oven for 1 hour, and that is it. We're all done.
If you'd like a copy of this delicious recipe, write to us at News 6 at the following address. Congratulations again to Sharon Losey.
North Star Ford is known as the Midwest Regional Hub because of selection and value. When it comes to selection, we have over 100 F-150s in stock. I'm talking about F-150, 4-wheel drive, super cab, V8, automatic, only $299 a month, 0 down. This is an F-150, 4-door. Don't think about a 3-door when the industry standard is 4-door. Right here at the Northwest #1 store, North Star Ford, where you will be satisfied.
minutes for $20 a month for 12 months and a $75 credit on wireless phone service. With a deal like this, your wireless phone could become your only phone. 200 minutes for $20 for 12 months. Talk is cheaper for wireless North Pole. The wireless way to go.
If the unthinkable happens, you'll need to know your rights. If you've been injured in a car accident, call Sieben, Gross, and Von Holten.
George Kessler's weather is certified by the American Meteorological Society. Tonight's weather is brought to you by Cellular One.
I'll tell you what, George has a new look on there.
Well, it's your hair by wind.
The wind blowing.
Oh, that's just terrible wind out there.
Oh, yeah. Years ago, this is what we talked about during the commercial break. In fact, if you're looking into a 30-mile-an-hour wind, my hair is standing straight up. I look like Eddie Brimble.
Well, Michelle said you were working sassy.
I
don't know what that means.
You know what? I'm not going there. I'm just not going there. I'm not going to sassy. Yeah, but Mallory will. The man who fears nothing. Temperature at the airport, 14 degrees. It is brisk. We haven't been that cold in a long time. You throw in that 22 below zero wind chill, it feels like winter. Out of that in February. 19 at the harbor, 18 in Superior. Hibbing, cold spot of all, 13 degrees. Numbers across the region, 9 in Grand Marais. They're having a little problem in Hayward with the equipment. It is not 10 below zero yet in Hayward, so we'll just have to bear with that. The air temperature is actually around 19 degrees. Off to our west, 13 in Hibbing, 18 in Aiken, 10 though, International Falls. Let's take a look at some temperatures cascading across the country. I'm very fond of this map. I like this line. That's the color, something like that. But today it really has a good scientific purpose because watch the waves rippling through the atmosphere. We're fortunate because we have really fast-moving weather systems. I mean, this cold snap that we're going to endure tomorrow is gone already by Saturday. And so as they move this quickly, it really shows up on the temperature map. There it is, just the crest of the wave as it moves across the United States. See the warm temperatures surging into Pennsylvania today. We're talking 65 degrees. This morning it was 62 in Des Moines. Today it's about 22. So they saw a very quick 40-degree loss of temperature. Now they have icing problems as well. And Oklahoma City, last night at this time it was 69 degrees in Oklahoma City. Tonight it is 38 degrees. Cold wave is coming, but I'll tell you, it is not going to be long-lived. Has a lot to do with the jet stream. The jet's not really deviating from its course. It's been running straight across the northern tier of the United States. Now, it got a little bent out of shape by the storm system that we have in the neighborhood. That was a kink into it that allowed the cold air to flow south. Has no staying power. There are not any winds in the upper layers of the atmosphere which are going to support this big carved-out trough in the east. And without that, well, the cold air just doesn't have a home. So, bonk, off it goes back up into northern Quebec. Our storm system really did put down an appreciable amount of snow in Bayfield County. That 6-inch number from Bayfield is that's a lot of snow. It's going to be tossed around by those winds. So I think our friends over there are going to have some troubles in the morning. Almost everywhere else across Minnesota, just a few leftover snow flurries as that system continues to circulate. Here it is on the National Snow Tracker. The storm was so much more than just a little snow and some ice around here. Huge thunderstorm just ravaged parts of western Michigan tonight. And then you go down to the south. There, even more thunderstorms developing, running through Ohio and Kentucky. February, who would have thought? But it has been a very strange season, we have to admit that. A few additional snow showers down to our south. Here's a look at the local radar. We do have some snowflakes coming down. In addition to the blowing snow and Twin Forks, that's right here, some streaming in behind the main system itself, more developing over Aiken County. Off to our east, it's flashing a little bit, but the snow really is beginning to break apart and diminish, which is good news. They don't need any extra accumulation. For tonight into tomorrow, there goes the area of low pressure. Cold air comes in with it. A little trough behind it may trigger some snow showers tomorrow, but then by Saturday the sun is back. Look at this. It's a warm front already cruising in our direction. Forecast for the overnight hours look like this. Watch out for blowing snow and take care in the morning. There still is some ice underneath that fresh snow cover. That's mainly the eastern half of our area. Then for tomorrow, patchy flurries as that front comes around. Temperatures barely making the double digits. Wind chills. They're going to be bitter, and there still will be some blowing snow in the open areas. The 6-day forecast, we run the risk of more storminess next week, but there are a bunch of question marks associated with that. My advice, tune back tomorrow for the latest installment as the storm turns.
It's lucky.
Yep.
It was the Bucks' home opener tonight in the NBA play, and the Wolves take on the Lakers -1. Shaquille O'Neal. Tom's got sports up next.
And later on, planning a wedding can be a hassle. Find out how you can get a little help from your friends in cyberspace.
Because a bouquet of benefits awaits you at Cellular One. Your $10 donation to the American Cancer Society sends daffodils to a local cancer patient. Plus, you can arrange your own bouquet of benefits for analog or digital wireless. Pick 2 free benefits from this list. Free activation, 200 bonus minutes, 90 days of voicemail, 1,000 off-peak minutes, or unlimited weekends for 60 days. Because the bouquet smells sweeter at Cellular One.
When the weather's this cold, there's only one thing to do. Meltdown. At the new Kohler Superstore in Hermantown, our prices and payments are so hot, we're starting to meltdown. During our Zero Down Meltdown sale. Lease or buy one of over 300 cars, trucks, vans, or sport utilities for as little as $199 a month. Many with Zero Down. $199 a month. Zero Down. It's the Zero Down Meltdown. Through Saturday at the new Kohler Superstore in Hermantown.
It may be cold outside, but at Slumberland Furniture,
The savings are hot, hot, hot months. With winter's hottest sale, it's like nothing you've ever seen before.
that's right. During winter's hottest sale at Slumberland, get this oak pier wall for just $4.99 and this gorgeous reclining sofa for just $7.99. Plus, register to win a fabulous cruise for 2 to the sun-drenched Caribbean. Don't miss winter's hottest sale now, only at Slumberland Furniture.
It's gonna be hot.
Put clutter in its place with Edsel shelving from Menards. They go together easily. This 5-shelf unit is great for garages or basements. Just $9.99 after rebate. Save big on storage from Rubbermaid. 3-gallon clear storage boxes with snap-on lids are just $2.49 each. Big 14-gallon rough tote containers are only $3.99. Stock up on storage with big savings from Menard.
Save big money at Menard.
You are the one who thought the word that you didn't say. So the fight didn't start. So the knife didn't cut. So the gun didn't shoot. So the man didn't die. So the hate didn't grow. So the night was calm and the peace was kept. You're the one who can make the peace.
Now, sports with Tom Hanson.
Well, the regular season has come to an end for some high school boys hockey.
Hermantown finishes with a title.
Yeah, and they had 3 goals this year. Win the number 1 seed in the playoffs. They've done that. To beat East this year, they did that. And the third one was, of course, to win the Lake Superior Conference title. And the win tonight will give them that championship hardware. Hermantown reached the Class A state title game last year, falling to Admiral Gilbert in the finals. They then lost 13 seniors from that team and faced several questions coming into the year. But nobody has questions now. Tonight, a win over Marshall will give them their first LSC title ever. Andy Korn tied the game at 1 in the first, and then John Francisco went to work. He gave Hermantown a 2-1 lead here. He later gave Hermantown a 3-1 lead. He later gave Hermantown a 4-1 lead. Then he gave Hermantown a 5-1 lead. Francisco finishes with 4 goals, Korn with a goal and 3 assists. The Hawks take the title with a 5-1 win. They're now 18-3 on the season overall, 11-1, and win the LSC Conference. That Marshall home game might be the final Toppers home game at the deck. They have plans to open a new facility by November 1st of this year on the Marshall campus. Groundbreaking for the new $3.5 million facility will take place March 1st. The Saints Hilltoppers Arena will hold about 1,000 fans and will have 7 locker rooms, 2 for the Saints, 2 for the Toppers, and 3 guest locker rooms. Other community teams will also be able to rent out ice time at that rink. Big Pep Boys basketball game tonight at Duluth East. Let's count it down. Croquet Lumberjacks facing the conference, and the Hounds in 3rd place going to lose. Will pick up action in the first. Croquet in white. Jesse Stringer scores off a feed from Mike Johnson for the Lumberjacks. Later, the Hounds' Colin Ellison works it inside to the birthday boy, Rick Rickard, the sophomore sensation, with 42 points tonight. That's right, 42, celebrating his 16th birthday. Later, the Hounds lost the ball, but Tim Battalion finds Mike Johnson for the layup. East wins 83-51. Again, Rickard, here he scores 2 more of his 42 points. In notes tonight, the Vikings signed safety Robert Griffith to a 3-year deal. Warren Moon says he's been released by Mike Holmgren in Seattle. It's possible the 41-year-old could return a smaller salary. Future Hall of Famer Paul Mulder will be a Twins broadcaster this season. He'll also be a Twins spring training coach. The state boys and girls cross country meet will be held tomorrow at Giants Ridge in Wabash, Minnesota. Both the boys and girls squads from Duluth East will return to defend their 1998 championships. The East boys team returns 5 veterans from last year's team. The East girls team also returns 5 from last year's title squad. The Hounds' Andre Watt was the 98 freestyle champion. Rachel Daw of East will be back to defend for the freestyle championship. Minnesota Vikings are about to invade the Northland. The Arctic Blast 4 will get started in Cook tomorrow. They'll also be in Ely, Babbitt, Embarrass, Tower, and Hoyt Lakes. 18 current and former Vikings are expected to take part.
and the Snowmobile Ride for Charity. They'll be joined by Superior native and former Hall of Fame head coach Grant. More than 2,000 snowmobilers took part a year ago. They helped to raise more than $35,000 for charity. And finally, the Wolves took on the LA Lakers tonight. Shaquille O'Neal did not play out with an injury, but the Lakers do have former golfer Sam Jacobson riding the bench this year. Stephon Marbury watching this pass behind the back to KG. Throws it down for the slam, 21 points. KG not even feeling well tonight. Sam Mitchell with 20. Kobe Bryant from the corner. The game high, 24 points, 10 rebounds. Joe Smith would later score for the Wolves. Wolves win this one, 86-75. They're now 3-1. The Milwaukee Bucks also won, 95-75 over the Nets. They are now 3-0. So both teams are combined 6-1. It's going to be an exciting NBA season.
And it looks like there was a good turnout, too. The crowd's coming back.
Yeah, they are. They had a near sellout the other night, and when the Lakers come to town, of course, Shaquille was a late scratch. So everybody thought maybe they'd see Shaquille. Kobe Bryant, they'll put him on the show. He'll be a future star in the league, if not already.
Oh, yeah. All right, thanks, Tom. We'll be right back.
This is the best time to find great value. And your Toyota dealer is leading the way this President's Week with amazing extra value package savings on the National 4Runner. You'll also want to take advantage of big savings on the plate and grab Fords. So don't miss out on the last President's Week deal. But hurry, it's going on now through Monday, February 15th. See your Toyota dealer now and see your car here leading the way.
New 6 and the Minnesota State Lottery are giving you a chance to escape the winter chill with the Fun in the Sun Caribbean Cruise Contest, sponsored by North Star Ford. You could be one of 2 lucky winners of an all-expense-paid cruise for 2. To register, watch meteorologist George Kessler on News 6 at 10, Monday through Friday. George will give a Caribbean location and temperature. Write it down and drop it off at North Star Ford or mail it to News 6. You could be the lucky winner of the Fun in the Sun Caribbean Cruise Contest, sponsored by North Star Ford.
Women account for 80% of consumer spending. News 6 Women's Expo is the event for your business.
This expo really gives us our client. It really brings to us the people that we want to talk to.
Lots of people and a real steady stream of people.
It's been highly successful and we're really, really happy with the turnout.
It's probably the best. Advertising that works. Register your business today for News 6 Women's Expo by February 19th.
A new website is making it easier for soon-to-be husbands and wives to plan for their walk down the aisle.
WeddingNetwork.com is the official online bridal registry for Modern Bride magazine. Now, it helps couples set up their own page on the site where family and friends can log on to get event guides, directions to the festivities, even gift registry. Online consultants help with things like wedding planning, flowers, and announcements.
If you'd like some help from the Wedding Network, we've set up a link from our features page. Just log on to online6 at KBJR.com. Here's an interesting bit of trivia, guys. 2 million couples will take the plunge this year, generating an estimated $35 billion in the U.S. alone. Those weddings are going up in price.
Yes, sir.
Gives new meaning to the word elope.
Yeah, especially, Tom's got 2 daughters, I have 1. We'll be thinking this way in a few years. Gang count, oh boy. Got a lot of those things to think about. Thanks, Tom. Here's the radar in motion across the region. A lot of the snow is now coming apart, which is good news because they saw up to half a foot across northwestern Wisconsin. Just lingering flurries, but falling snow will be a problem. Half to get this in is 87 degrees in Cancun today, folks. Cancun, 87. Yes, oh, golf clap. Golf clap, I like that. Air temperatures dipping into single digits. Watch for the blowing snow.
Okay, thanks, George.
And thanks for staying in touch with us
Up
tonight.
next, actors Mel Gibson and Daryl Hannah, and the music of Natalie Merchant on The Tonight Show with Jay Leno.
We'll see you tomorrow.
Good night.
Men's clothing provided by Mainstream Fashions for Men in the heart of downtown Duluth. Closed captioning provided by Chamberlain's.